Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the grand final of the Major League Gaming 2010 Pro League Circuit in Raleigh, North Carolina. Grand finals of the StarCraft 2 tournament. HuK against KiwiKaki, some more PvP action, and it's all Canada all the time.
Indeed, this is what a surprise here to see. First, 2 Protoss players.
Yeah.
2 Canadian players. I'm not saying.
Not that that's surprising.
Indeed. But Canada, I mean.
2 of them, both of them, and Protosses, and you know, everyone's always talking about how Terran seems to be overpowered. I mean, recently there was even a tournament where in the top 8, no Protosses, and there were nothing but Terran versus Zergs, but here, we're going to have some huge PvP action. It's going to be a big clash of styles.
Yeah, and really, if you look at the 2 players, I mean, KiwiKaki, in the winners the entire time, lost to HuK in the winter finals, and now he's up against HuK again.
He's back in the finals.
He's back in the finals. I mean, what a showing really from KiwiKaki coming in. I mean, a lot of people probably didn't expect him to go this far. But if you've actually watched him online, you definitely know how good of a player he is. And if you didn't, you know how good of a player he is now after watching him this weekend.
What I love so much about KiwiKaki is that he's not a very loud personality online. There's a lot of people who do a lot of self-love regularly, you know, just like, oh, I'm so good, and they'll post, you know, replays of them winning.
Right.
But then when it comes down to the actual tournaments, they'll crumble, they'll fall. But KiwiKaki was so pleasant. He was all smiley and happy, and he'd sit down just gently, just massage the keyboard. I mean, seriously, he is the most calm hands I've ever seen. A lot of people get jittery, kind of tweak it up a little bit, but not KiwiKaki. Super, super, super calm, super controlled.
And if you look at HuK, I mean, last weekend he didn't do too well at that tournament, and now he's in the grand finals. It took 1 week for him to completely change up his attitude, and now he's in here, MLG Raleigh 2010 grand finals. I mean, again, what a champion.
It is one of those things where you do have to have the LAN experience. You need to know how to do what you want to do, and that sounds so silly, but for some reason people tend to tweak out when they go to live events. You'll get the player who ladders and plays solid straight up games every single time, but then when he gets under pressure, he's 1 game away from being eliminated, and he'll just try to cheese to win, and it'll fail, and he will weep bitterly.
All right, so it looks like we are going to be waiting on HuK right now to go ahead and join the lobby. And then, Sean, we're going to be getting started here in the grand finals of PvP between HuK and KiwiKaki. I cannot wait.
I mean, you can't see this, but off camera, I'm rubbing my tummy because Protoss vs. Protoss tastes so good. Now, here's the thing about KiwiKaki's style. He has amazing, amazing early game micro. So good. And he does these insane, very aggressive openings where he'll put a pylon nearby the edge of your ramp, and he'll move up with Stalkers and Zealots, and then he'll just warp 4 Zealots directly into your base. He's great at busting the ramp, and really controlling the ramp is one of those things that you take for granted way too often in matchups.
Indeed. Now, HuK, is it safe to say the master of 4 gating? Is that something that you could pin to HuK?
No, I'd give that to KiwiKaki. I'd say HuK is the master of 1 basing. He loves getting those robo base fast. That's actually the only way I think he was going to be able to hold off those 4 gate pushes that KiwiKaki did in the winners bracket final. And oh my God, was it close? I mean, in those games, the Immortals popped out just in time, and even then, after losing 2 or 3, HuK was still barely hanging on.
We definitely had our friends HD and Husky casting that stuff, and now let's do a little bit of love to all the communities out there who have turned in all weekend long. Starting off first, why don't you why
don't you get that left side of my jacket for me? TeamLiquid.net, ladies and gentlemen, that's right, TeamLiquid.net. I have been a member since 2003, way back when I was a fetus that played StarCraft. Oh my God, they are just the most warm, wonderful community.
Not fetuses, the community.
That's right, that's not a community for fetuses. It's a community for StarCraft 2 fans themselves, and seriously, you'll never meet a warmer community ever. I mean, so often on the internet, people from the internet are just sad, angry people. Everyone on TeamLiquid.net is very happy and pleasant, so big love to them.
Indeed, and also we do have the crew from Reddit.com also in the gaming section and the StarCraft section. Both sections have been supporting all weekend long, and a big shout out to Slasher for actually getting those posts up on that site.
Absolutely, yeah, and big shout out for Slasher for helping to provide the troll face. Is there any chance I could borrow that really fast? Yes. That's right, I'm going to be showing that good old one. Every time I say, isn't the Archon just the best unit in the game? That's right, don't make an Archon. So, one thing to note about, I remember what we were talking about. Oh yeah, we're thanking people. Keep going, JP, you're doing great.
Awesome. Thanks for putting me on the spot, Sean. But of course, Going to some of the other communities, we do have Gosu. I got to remember the name out there. Wow.
GosuGamers.net.
GosuGamers.com.
GosuGamers.net, of course, great
.net.
community. They always, .net, whatever. Gosu something. GosuGamers.net, love their site. Regularly have huge news posts, very, very, very regular about updating their site, updating their content, always hosting great events like the Europe vs. Asia show match series, which I shoutcasted with the illustrious Sexy Greetorp, who was out there. So, yeah, and of course, MLGpro.com, gotfrag.com. You can get all the resources that you need regarding this tournament, regarding all the brackets and all the MLG action there.
And one last thing, if you are not quite satisfied with your stream quality right now and you have not purchased MLG HD, definitely purchase that right now. $10, you can catch the grand finals here in crisp, clean HD. And you can put that on a TV. Marvelous, Sean.
I
marvelous.
know, seriously. And what's great about that is even if you full screened it in 1080p, because again, it's a 1600 bitrate stream, it's great, you wouldn't see a single blemish because of this makeup. Seriously, you can even investigate. Pay $10 to try to check. I actually am objectively pretty today.
All right, son.
So it looks like our first map is going to be Steps of War. That's going to be a very aggressive first map. I think in Protoss vs. Protoss, people largely tend to avoid expanding because of how tense it is at the opening stages of the game, and Steps of War is going to delay that even further.
Steps of War is one of the smallest maps in StarCraft 2. A 2-player map, players spawn at the 2 and 7 o'clock positions. Right outside the main bases is a natural expansion. Destructible rocks blocked another expansion, and at the 12 and 6 o'clock positions you can find high-yield minerals. Watchtowers can be found on either side of the large open field, and brush can sometimes be used to hide enemy forces until it is too late. Expect to see heavy aggression in the beginning of the match, no matter what the matchup, as with short distances come short unit travel times.
And we are about to go into Game 1 of HuK against KiwiKaki. Give a cheer for anyone who is Canadian.
And Sean, I got a question to ask. How excited are you for the grand finals here, Game 1 on Steps of War?
I am pumped for this series. We have HuK in the top right as the red Protoss, and in the bottom left we got KiwiKaki as the blue Protoss. HuK, of course, is red. He is favored in this matchup because he is doing what we call playing an extended series. This is a best of 7 where HuK is beginning with a 2-1 score because that was their result from the winner's bracket.
So that means that HuK actually has to win 2 games, and he is the grand champion, and KiwiKaki does have to end up winning 3.
I always just love that general philosophy of you want the better player to have more chances to win at MLG. I mean, that's what we've seen time again with the double elimination bracket, with the best of 3 in every single round, even in the loser's bracket, and of course with these extended series. And HuK looks like he's planting his first pylon very close to his nexus, doesn't want to be able to lose to any sort of early aggression, wants to have all those buildings tightly placed. Look at KiwiKaki scouting his whole base out to check for any sort of proxies.
That KiwiKaki does have his pylon a little bit farther away from his nexus. There goes that gateway going down for KiwiKaki. HuK getting his gateway possibly on 13 a tad bit later than KiwiKaki.
But of course, HuK loves this early harassment. This might look silly to have him attacking this pylon, but with only 200 life, as we can see, he's already eliminated half the shields there, and HuK also trying to scoot around, do as much damage as he can to try to block that cybernetics core that's inevitably coming.
Yeah, it looks like HuK is thinking about leaving that pylon. He did go ahead and go back to it with the probe. Now, no players have. There goes gas for HuK, and actually gas started just recently as well for KiwiKaki. So I'm thinking we're going to see some cybernetics core instead of any like 3-gate opener zealot cheese.
Yeah, I mean, you do see 2-gate quite often on this map. No reason to do that if you want to go to the later stages of the game. And it looks like HuK will have to retreat right now, trying to do a little bit of shift queuing to pull back. Gas steals are very popular on this map. It is 2-player. It looks like KiwiKaki, getting in position 2, but no. Looks like both players want to get the buildings, like the cybernetics core and their own pylons up fast. And ooh, this is interesting, a zealot before core.
Yeah, KiwiKaki does have 1 zealot out. Looks like the zealot from HuK is being chrono boosted as well, about halfway complete. And there goes the cybernetics core going down for HuK, and no cybernetics core thrown down right now by KiwiKaki.
And there's the gas going down by KiwiKaki. Is a gas steal right there. That's going to be huge. It shuts down so many possibilities for HuK, and the reverse gas steal. I guess that's what you call a mirror build, but I mean, very, very interesting little exchange. And of course, the two Zealots wailing away at each other, and HuK does the smart thing, takes out the probe, and he's going to have to pull back to retreat. Nice little advantage there, having that Zealot down at such low health.
Yeah, KiwiKaki maybe forgetting the fact that that probe was taking damage there, maybe looking at that gas steal in his base, trying to figure out exactly what he wants to do. Cybernetics Core going down for KiwiKaki there in his main, and KiwiKaki actually, did he get a kill on a probe there?
I can't, it looks like he has one kill with that Zealot, and that's what KiwiKaki is known for, that early game micro. HuK having a few idle probes, but managing to get those back en route as usual, and it looks like he's still trying to chase these Zealots around, but he has a weakened Zealot. He has to be careful to keep that alive, and KiwiKaki being so aggressive. This looks so much like StarCraft 1 PvP, taking out another probe, and will he be able to get another probe? No, he is having to pull back. Stalker coming out right now, and it looks like KiwiKaki doesn't mind at all. He's going to continue to be aggressive, and only just now has his Cyber Core finished.
It looks like HuK is getting a Stalker out that's about to spawn on the map. He's also going to be chrono boosting that research of the Warp Gate, and actually KiwiKaki hasn't started fighting off on that assimilator there in his main. Looks like he's just going to go for some hard aggression right now.
I mean, this is a big risk for KiwiKaki. It could be very rewarding to kill off a lot of probes, as we can see in the income tab. Harvester count is even though, so not enough damage has been dealt. RoboBay going down for HuK. That's a very cheap building on the gas, so definitely a good choice for him, as he is still only on one geyser. And look at this great control by HuK, just repelling this attack. KiwiKaki has units rallied to the front, but it is not going to be enough. That Stalker is so fast, he's going to lose all of these Zealots.
Yeah, it looks like KiwiKaki's actually going to try to fight and finish off one of those Zealots. Is he going to get this other one?
And he's trying to micro really well. He needs to shoot that weakened Zealot. Oh, and there's a very nice shot. Does manage to pick it off at the last second, but HuK is mostly concerned about this assimilator that is still alive in his base.
Both players have been on one gateway. HuK actually throwing down a second one right now, and here comes KiwiKaki adding on. Here's that 4-gate play that we were talking a little bit earlier.
4-gate play, and of course it looks like HuK has killed off that gas geyser, and KiwiKaki just never wants to stop attacking. And look, target firing the Stalkers, such an excellent play. The Stalkers are the fast units. You need to eliminate those. You can micro against everything else. The RoboBay hasn't done anything quite yet. HuK responding by getting gateways 2 and 3 down.
Yeah, and one thing to note is that we were so excited by all this harassment. HuK actually playing it cool and does have that robotics facility down, getting that Immortal. He's actually chasing away the Zealot and 2 Stalkers there in the middle of the map right now, and finishing off that Zealot with those 2 Stalkers.
HuK already coming out to a very nice lead, but of course KiwiKaki known for his insane Warp Gate aggression. Does he have his Warp Gate research just now finished? HuK is a little bit ahead, and the real issue is that HuK does have that Immortal coming out. It's going to completely deny a lot of these Stalkers, and KiwiKaki mounting up for a big push.
Yeah, a forward pylon by any Protoss user, especially when you have those 4 Warp Gates, really something to look out for if you're up against that.
And there we do have a lot of Stalkers being morphed in. Stalkers, so good, so easy to micro at these early stages of the game. But HuK's coming down with an Immortal. KiwiKaki's going to have to pull back a lot. He has to be very defensive. He can't